In this week's episode, you find out why Tuesday, November 30th, is my second favorite day of the month. We have all three personal planets moving and making sextiles to some of the outer planets. We also have Saturday, our solar eclipse, setting your sights on higher ridges and finding routes that get you there quickly. To hear more, tune in to this episode of Astrological Intentions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the Thanksgiving turkey trotter herself, Sandy Reevy.
I know this one, and I turkey walked.
It is episode 175, November 29th. Let's get right into it. In the transits we have today, November 29th, Mars trine Neptune.
A search for peace.
Tuesday, November 30th, Mercury sextile Saturn.
Study or teach it.
Venus sextile Neptune.
First pass.
And Sun sextile Saturn.
Gain respect.
Then Wednesday, December 1st, Neptune stations direct.
Clearing blurred lines.
And Saturday, December 4th, solar eclipse and new moon in Sagittarius.
Set your sights.
And in Talisman Times, Sandy has finished up one to win victoriously, a new talisman of the month that we will announce in the episode. And on the horizon, we have our December astrology forecast ready for watching, as well as our cheat sheet ready for download, and our special holiday trunk show coming up December 7th. Then in our house, Sandy and I are going to talk about what happened on our Thanksgiving Day, what made it so much fun. Stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
And so you finally know you control where you go.
Hello, our Thanksgiving turkey trotter.
Turkey walker.
Turkey walker. It's my tradition to go to the 5K every year. And this year, my mom joined, and that was very spectacular for me. And she's a fast walker, so she was walking much, much faster than me. I did have every, thought that I might be running this one, but after a very long vacation and not a whole lot of exercising, I figured it just might be safer to just walk and enjoy, which the weather was perfect. They had a complete sold out 5K. It was great to be along with the festivities, people dressed up in their turkey costumes, and
it really, I teared up.
You did. I was surprised that a 5K could make you cry.
I mean, as we arrived and people were in line, there was a starting flag or area, and they had, there was 2,500 people, and they were all, either family members of Evanstonians, right? That live here in Evanston, and we're kind of a small community, but to see that many people show up and turn up, it was not a sunny day. It was an overcast day, but it really, just looking around and just seeing all the families and the kids, and everybody's got these matching pom-pom hats on. And it just brought this feeling of community to me. And it's like, man, I live here and I don't even know these people.
Oh, that's what you were crying about? I thought you were so excited that everyone was there and showing up for their community.
That's what touched me first, and then realizing it's like,
so you were crying about all of the years that you didn't come with me on that 5K. I get it.
I've been, I got a pop up on Facebook about the day before Thanksgiving. So it said, 10 years ago, here's you crossing the finish line at the turkey trot. That year I ran it.
You ran. That was impressive.
So let's just remember that I walked twice and ran once. So I've been there at 3. How many ever ones you've been to?
Many. So, okay, let's get into it. First, going direct to all of you listeners, thank you so much for the holiday wishes. And I did get a message from a past client of ours back in the She Beads days, and her name's Sharon S. She says, "Wow, Sandy, it's been years since I saw you last. I'm so happy that your vision has worked out for you." And that was just
Hi,
a
Sharon.
short,
I think I know who this is.
short, simple, amazing, just reminder that, hey, remember when Intention Beads was just a small vision of yours? I mean, maybe a big vision, but it wasn't around yet.
Developed yet.
Right.
It hadn't reached the its intention bead full moon on the secondary progress phase yet, which it does January 1st, 2022.
Right.
Yeah, interesting. But I know who this is, and I thank you, Sharon, for noting and noting my intention and watching me along the way. I think it's really cool when a friend or a cohort or just another human being pays attention to your and watches your
journey,
the moves that you're making, and then spends time just to reach out. So I really appreciate that. Thanks, Sharon.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so in the transits, this week is much lighter than last week, but let's move into it. Monday, November 29th, today, if you're listening on time, Mars trine Neptune.
So this is at 20 degrees of, the Mars is in Scorpio, very strong Mars, and making a trine to the very strong Neptune in the other water sign of Pisces, although Neptune's retrograde and about to move direct here in a couple days. But this is a search for peace for me. This is of spiritual nature peace or a religious nature of peace. It's using this energy to help someone, to give more than you intend, that you shall feed the masses in some way. It's kind of a dilution of action. Mars being the achiever, the initiator, the action-packed, but in Scorpio has more of an internal
battle.
movement. Yeah. And, to use that to kind of be more on that flow, right? Because it's water. It's a trine. So it's about helping others to reach, to help them in what they need, right? And the in this aspect is putting some action to it. So it's really, it could be it's water, so the energy can flow, right? It can flow easily, or it can get distorted or diluted
or muddy.
Yeah,
sticky,
like a churning. But it's a trine, so it's a harmonious energy. Yeah.
Okay,
so we begin
can use it.
Boom, we begin with that first thing on Monday morning.
And Tuesday, November 30th, we have 3 transits. The first, Mercury sextile Saturn.
Yeah, this is study or teach it. This is we get 3 transits, as you mentioned, and they are all the moving, the very fast moving planets, which are Mercury, Venus, and the Sun. So this first one, as you mentioned, is Mercury making a sextile to Saturn. So it's inquiring minds want to know. What can you commit to learning so that you can teach it one day? There's gaining some wisdom here. It's about maybe signing papers, making a contract, coming to filling out some paperwork. If you have to, maybe it's your filling out for a new refi.
A refinance.
Something that Saturnian that has a long range goal.
Well, and also that, so the study it or teach it is the teaching part. Is that where Saturn comes in? Is that teacher aspect?
Right. Yeah.
So here also it's like study it now to become the authority later, whether or not you teach it or not,
Yeah, gain some wisdom here. Pick up a book. What interests you?
Right.
Start scrolling
diving in a little deeper than what you already know. So same day, Venus sextile Neptune.
This is the first pass. Now, Venus is in shadow. She is at 20 degrees of Capricorn, where she will retrograde when she gets to 26 degrees. But she's making this very nice sextile helping hand, more or less, to this Neptune, which is also getting ready to station, because so he has stopped, slowed down to stop. And this is about bringing your art in your heart to art form. So kind of opening up that, that grapefruit, cutting the grapefruit and then opening it, with your thumbs, and so it's easier to pick it with your teeth. Did you ever do that when? Did you ever do that when you were a kid? I mean, I'm your mom. I should know that, right? Because it's this really nice aspect of, connecting and art or creativity or an imagination, and, putting things down into form, because it's Venus in an earth sign. Okay. So, and it reminds me of, I like you, you like me mantra.
We love that. That's such a great mantra.
And if you've never used it, or if you've not heard us talk about the mantra, that we learned that from
an event probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Liz Gilbert was speaking with.
It wasn't Liz, but it was the lady she was speaking with. Oh my gosh, I know, Martha Beck.
Martha Beck, there you go.
Martha Beck got on stage and said, "Hey, try this," and we tried it days later, and it opened up something for us. And my mom uses it, my brother uses it, and everybody uses it.
Right, even walking into the doctor. So it's basically. It's an internal dialogue that you prepare yourself if you're, or even in the middle of a conflict, or, for us, it was actually, we've used this many, many times, but originally we were having trouble getting back home.
We were going to Bali.
We were going to Bali. We just finished up this event. We then flew back to Chicago, hurried up, switched all of our bags, and we're getting ready for the retreat. And so it was fresh in our minds, and we're checking in, but our carry-on bags are too heavy. We didn't realize that they would be checking our carry-on bags, which is sometimes where we put all of our heavy things. And so the man that was checking us in was not excited at all. Very mean,
she was
very harsh.
Excited, yeah.
And all of a sudden, my mom and I were just bent down, like underneath, just working with our bags, trying to
I'm about ready to burst in tears.
Right, because we just got dropped off. We have no way. We have to bring everything.
We've got to get through customs here. We've got to get to the other side and get to our plane. And we're having to switch all of our luggage. And we have about 7 pieces of luggage. Mm-hmm. And I am literally, we took out that, put it in that, put it in this, put it in that.
It's
he's
still
put him
not
already
working.
on the thing. Now he's doing this, and he's like really kind of nasty to us. And I bent down to take out some more things and just was going to like throw them in the garbage can or something. And I started to almost cry. And you look at me and you go, "Mom,
I like you. You like me." And so
I
we just started repeating it. And within, I want to say seconds,
we popped up.
We stood up.
The man goes, "What scent are you wearing?"
And we had some essential oil.
I was wearing geranium, which is weird.
But it somehow it reminded him of his mother back in India. Mm-hmm. And he just 100,000% switched on his head. Like it was like he turned from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of thing. And
he literally followed us to the gate.
Escorted us personally, was so excited, wanted to somehow get the geranium scent that you had, wanted you to do his chart. Mm-hmm. I mean, it went from 0 to 100. It was such a difference.
So this mantra, I like you,
yes.
You like me. I like you, you like me. And literally it is sending out the positive vibration from you and connecting to the positive vibration that is in his aura field that he wasn't using.
Right.
He had pushed the the positive aura field somewhere in the back, and our positivity drew his out and literally connected.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Wow. So do it. So anyway, let's get back to this Venus making a sextile to Neptune.
Yes.
This is the first pass of 3. And the second pass comes in January 5, and the third and last one will be February 24th. We'll talk about these as we go. But this is bringing something. You'll have them multiple times because the Venus is beginning to retrograde here in a minute. And, in 18 days. But it starts to start opening up that rose petal flower of just allowing this to bloom and blossom. What is the art of your heart?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first pass. So whatever you can come up with today, Tuesday, the 30th of November, see if you can push that along a little bit all the way through the end of February. So we're going to hold you to this and remind you again and this is actually what I'm going to be teaching in the retreat, is this Venus and how we can unpeel, peel some of the edges to get a full blossom. But we do have to go into muddy waters sometimes. I mean, the lotus flower only blossoms from muddy waters.
Mm-hmm. And so the next transit is Sun Sextile Saturn. And you called this Gain Respect.
Yeah, Sun here is in triplicity rulership in Sagittarius in a day chart. So this permits generally a good feeling about what order and ground you are covering. This is actually my second favorite day, this Tuesday, the 30th of the month, as we kind of finish up the month of November. This is just feeling secure in the fact that you're in a good place and that you're gaining respect, and you actually hold respect for others that are in your vicinity. So again, that whole I like you, you like me, I respect you, you respect me. Although we've never tried that word. Why don't you try it and get back to us on by saying, I respect you, you respect me. I'm gonna use
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, December 1st, happy December, everyone. Neptune stations direct.
Right. This is him stationing at 20 degrees, stationing direct. He'll be never back to 20 degrees after he sweeps by the 20 degrees of Pisces for 148 years. But this is clearing blurred lines. Neptune likes to blur lines, keep things edgy, not clear cut edges. And so the blurred lines are now getting a little bit less fuzzy, and we're able to clear it. It's like the planet of romanticism and softness begins to transverse over the next 2 degrees for the last time. So don't lose time here. What are you seeing a little bit clearly than you had not been able to do before?
Mm-hmm. And Saturday, December 4th, we have a solar eclipse, aka a new moon, in Sagittarius.
Yep, set your sights. So new moon, which means a solar eclipse, and this is conjunct Mercury. It's within 3 degrees of the sign Mercury.
And quick question, is this going to be a total or a partial?
Partial.
Okay.
And this is, to set your sights on higher ridges, those higher areas, mountains, because this is in Sagittarius, 12 degrees of Sagittarius. This happens exactly at 1:43 a.m. on Saturday morning, the 4th. So this is something we will not see here in the United States, because that means the moon is dark, crosses the sun, and we won't see it at 1:43. The sun is not up at that time. Mm-hmm. So it's about, setting your sights on these higher mountaintops, on the higher ridges, and then finding a route that can get you there quickly. Now, this is the last lunation in this axis of the
Of this eclipse season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the last of the Gemini Sag, axis point, the opposition there.
Right.
Because in 2022, we'll be moving permanently into the Capricorn, the Taurus Scorpio. Okay. The Taurus Scorpio angle. The nodes always move backwards. So, we had the Gemini Sag, and as they go backwards, right, we hit the sign before Gemini, which is Taurus, and the sign before Sag, which is Scorpio. And it's the angle there.
Well, yeah, and I like that. I think that's a really great, way is really take a look at the mountaintop that you want to achieve. So it's step number one is really define your goal, and then trace that pathway back down of where you're at right now. And, that's the path. Those are your steps. Those are your miniature goals, those midpoints.
Because we've got, Sun and Moon in Sagittarius, which is big picture, right? Those higher goals, higher aspects, optimistic, buoyant sights we set for ourselves. But it's conjunct Mercury. And Mercury is is in his detriment here. But Mercury is the details. So if we can find a quicker route, because Mercury likes to speed, Mercury likes to go fast. And so I think that if we can find that trajectory that we want to achieve, and like you just said, following the path to get there, is the Mercury, the small steps, the quick small steps to get there. So, yeah, and then this is the final lunation of this eclipse season.
Okay. Yeah, and these eclipse seasons are really wonderful. It's a great time to look internally to set those goals for yourself. So exciting week.
And because it's a solar eclipse, we know that the sun is eclipsed. Solar, sun, eclipsed. So we know the moon is crossing in front of the sun. And
when we had just a couple weeks ago, when we had the lunar eclipse, you got up on your telescope and you took a couple pictures of the moon. They are on the Instagram. You posted them yourself. I'm very proud of you. And you took them yourself. It's so hard to get your hand steady enough in the telescope using that little contraption to take that picture. And that was just impressive. So
it was really cool. I really enjoy my telescope.
Yes. So let's move into Talisman Times. Last week we talked to you about our one and only talisman that was upcoming, To Win Victoriously, made Sunday, November 28th. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, this is the sun in Sag. The moon is in Virgo. The ascendant is Scorpio. So we know that the Mars in Scorpio is in the first house. And we've got the moon making a beautiful trine to Venus. And then the next aspect the moon makes is a sextile to Mars, which is the ruler. And so this is to win victoriously. I gain courage by performing my best. My best delivers me to the top where I win amongst my competition.
Yeah.
So, this is about gaining courage, about having the
determination and the grit.
The strong Mars fortitude of determination and perseverance,
right,
to do my best, right? So my best doesn't mean like I'm hurting anyone trying to get to the top. It's by doing my best, and I can win amongst my competition.
Right.
So,
mastering that sport or that goal that you set. So I also want to say that we don't have any upcoming talismans.
The universe coming up next the following week.
The universe is really giving you a nice holiday break, and the talisman of the month is to expand and radiate my higher mind. That will go up on the website. It technically is already on the website, but it will go up as the talisman of the month starting December 1st. And that you will find a discount on this specific talisman as well as a $5 shipping credit. So that's all for talismans. Let's move on to the horizon. We just finished up our December astrology forecast. That's our Facebook Live where Sandy and Susan gives you all of the dates. That is ready and waiting for you. Go ahead, click that link. And also the December cheat sheet is available. I have a really fun, exciting announcement that starting January, you will only need to pay once. And then every single month, I will automatically send to you in your inbox the free that download that you paid for the entire year. You get a discount and you get everything delivered as soon as it's ready. Then you can print it, have it on your desk, be prepared for those days to come.
Perfect. I love that. That's my Thanksgiving gift.
It is. So also we have a holiday trunk show. This is a virtual trunk show that we put together a few times a year. This one will be happening December 7th at 5:30. That's Chicago Central Time. Any raffle tickets that you purchase, each raffle ticket is $10. However, with every $10 gift certificate that you purchase for this, which gets you into the drawing for a talisman of your choice, you get that 10, 20, 30, however much you spent in a gift certificate. Yeah. So it's like a win-win-win. It's awesome. Don't miss out on this. And during the trunk show, Sandy's going to be talking to you and really showcasing the talismans that she's created. Why? She'll take a look at the chart. She'll answer some questions if you have questions, or if you want to email me ahead of time to have a list of 1 or 2 talismans that you would like added to that showcase list. So we would love to have you. Click that link and join us. And then I think we're jumping into our house already. That was fast. Yeah. So let's talk about our Thanksgiving. Happy belated Thanksgiving, everybody. It was really a wonderful time for us.
It always is. I start planning, and my best friend and your faux father.
Yes.
Jim Malone, man, if anybody's interested in any
designing,
design work,
interior design.
I met him because he designed my house years ago, 18. We became best friends, and he sets my tablescape for my Thanksgiving dinner every Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. And
especially since he's not the cooking type.
I'm the cooker, and he is the setter-upper, and then my guests are the eaters.
Oh, yeah. And the enjoyers. And really what's so fabulous is that the tablescapes really set the atmosphere a lot. When they're beautiful, fresh cut flowers and that are in beautiful arrangements, I think we should definitely describe a little bit of the table. What do you think?
Sure. This was an interesting themed one.
It was. So it
more
was a
farm, back on the farm.
It seemed much more like a farm cottage type of look. So it started off with a black and white and yellow flannel plaid tablecloth with like a Sherpa runner down the middle.
It looks like snow.
It looked like snow. With little sheeps, little like statues of sheep.
We say little, but they're about 12 inches high. I mean, they were pretty big.
They were pretty big.
Yeah.
And with a long row of candles and then 3 bouquets of flowers in the middle with birch trees that were, glitter added to them, beautiful white Gerber daisies, green foliage, evergreen. Then the light above the dining room, the chandelier, was wrapped with all of this these beautiful cotton pods.
Yeah.
So it just created this really beautiful like ambiance.
Yeah. It looked like a very kind of like farm. When we say farm, it means like an elegant farm setting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's just talk a little bit about our Thanksgiving day. So we started it off. You did the 5K with me. me, you, my boyfriend, we walked it, we enjoyed, we told stories, and we did it in about an hour. We took our time. It was along the campus of Northwestern, so we had
Lake Michigan.
We had Lake Michigan. We had the skyline in the back, so we stopped and took some pictures. And then we came back and we got to cooking. We turned on the Macy's Day Parade, cooked. I did some last minute things for the Black Friday sale.
We actually got to take a 20-minute power nap.
Right.
And then
just
the
enough
guests
time
started to arrive, and I think you piled out, around midnight.
I was the first.
I was happy after everyone left not that I was happy everybody left, but I was happy to really shine the crystal. I was clean. I cleaned. Everything was clean before I went to bed. It was really nice.
Yeah. I bet that is a good feeling.
And so that the day after Thanksgiving is my second favorite day, because there does feel like extra leftover food.
Yes.
And the house is clean, and it looks like, at my house, it looks like, is the party tonight or was it already happened? Because everything is clean.
It was
orderly.
super clean. Yeah.
So it was cool. And then starting to set up Christmas decorations today.
Right. And we had, a small intimate table, but we laughed and we roared and we got to play our game and say the things that we were grateful for. The game this year, and I think we talked about it last week, did we?
Mm-mm.
No. So this is a game that my mom and I kind of made up. We renamed it this time to be the Turkey Tank, and it's basically a play off of Shark Tank, but we put a bunch of inanimate,
nondescript, broken things or parts of things into one per bag.
One per bag. So one was
oh my god, that broken bike pedal.
Oh, it technically wasn't broken. It was just off the bike, but it was hysterical. So you open it up. You have 30 seconds to open it up, figure out how you're going to sell it to the investors at the table, and you only have a minute to pitch. So it's fun because you're racing against the time. You're trying to get as creative as possible. I have this cue cleaner, which it's kind of like a, how would you even describe that?
That's what that thing was that I
Yes.
called it. Was a mouse pillow?
You called it a cat pillow.
And
then a toothbrush cleaner.
And a toothbrush cleaner.
So it's basically like fabric on one side and a really rough kind of like a cat tongue type of abrasive section, and then it's rolled together and then sewn, so it goes around your billiard cue to scratch off all of the oil and dirt and debris.
Never knew.
It kind of looks like a little mini pillow, so you called it the cat pillow, but also a toothbrush cleaner because you can insert your toothbrush and clean it from the inside, which is just, it's so silly to, I got
the worst. And then everybody has little pieces of paper, and you have your own cup, and you go around, asking for
investments.
How much you got from $0 to
$100.
And the whole idea is who at the end of all, these rounds has the most money, right? Who gets the money, not really, but to get invested. But when I opened up one of mine, that whole cat pillow, somebody gave me 10 cents. That was
Which
crap.
Technically it's in the...
Yeah, but that was crap.
It was bad. That was bad.
I was like, whose writing is this? No pie.
It was not me. It was not me. I think I gave you like $15. You're welcome. But yeah, we had a deflated little mini soccer ball. We had a little pump out of like a lotion bottle, but it didn't have the lotion in it. We had a plastic bag.
I had a tray that had
like candle wax on it,
dripped on it.
just
like
the most. So you just have to look around your house, find the most useless, find the most broken, find the most random things that you could possibly find, put them in separate bags, and then play the game with your family. It was absolutely funny. So yeah, and then we ended the night actually watching the Adele One Night Only, because normally what we'll do with Thanksgiving is kind of after dinner we play our games and then maybe we veg out with a little movie. And this time we did the Adele One Night Only, which was really
Stunning.
nice. It was so
great.
good. Oh my gosh. The view around her at the observatory and her earrings. How about her earrings?
Saturn. And evidently, Jim has to do the research about, her, who designed her dress and who designed her earrings. And those earrings were made special for her to match her Saturn tattoo.
Yeah.
When she sings, she will hold the microphone.
Because she just, she's releasing her album named 30, which she always goes with the age that she was really writing it. And it's so interesting because the more we're finding out about her journey in the last 3 years, it is a Saturn return. Like, how crazy was that? So she has Saturn earrings, a Saturn tattoo. She just went through the ringer, the past 3 years, which is that's kind of that Saturn return of, hey, did you learn your lessons? Hey, did you remember all of the things that I have been teaching you for the last 29 years. So
yeah, she got really and there's a astrology group that went over her chart, and it was like she really did get Saturnized, and even with her weight,
right. I
And
mean, she lost 100 pounds in 2 years.
She said it wasn't about the weight, it was just her
about the
breaking
discipline
down of, she needed something to hold on to.
Yeah.
So she would go to the gym, and that was her happy place.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was such a great show. Highly recommend that. It's inspiring. She has the voice of an angel, and it's just entertaining. And who else to interview them but Oprah
And Griffin Observatory.
Right.
Oh my gosh, the
views
and the stage performance.
Right.
Yeah, it was
live orchestra behind her backup singers. They have a big surprise in the middle. It's wonderful. The celebrities that are dancing and cheering in the audience. It was just so much fun. And if you're any bit of an Adele fan or like one or two of her songs, we say just go watch it. I think that's the end of our episode, really. So
let's wrap.
Wrap, and we will see you all next week. Thank you so much for listening in, and have a wonderful week, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
And so you finally know you control where you go.